Hello, everyone. So this is Autumn, and this is just a quick update video. I have a ton of videos to record and to post, but this video is called "Where in the World Has Autumn Been?" I don't know, whatever. So I have been MIA, and if you've noticed, I haven't posted any videos in the last several weeks. My story is, and some of you already know this, so I was getting sick for about a year. And it coincided with the chaos of the relationship with the narcissist, and when kind of that narcissistic abuse was really amping up and the craziness was happening. And so I was blindsided in the sense that I thought all of my physical, illnesses or problems were caused by the emotional stress, which, don't get me wrong, a lot of it was. And I did another video about the fact that this type of abuse in particular, and this type of very insidious narcissistic abuse, can get to you in a very core way. And it can have a lot of physical ramifications in terms of our health. But I ended up, after the relationship ended, and I was kind of going through that healing process, or really the where I hit rock bottom, as a lot of you probably know, and then kind of went up from there. My issues weren't getting better, and it was at that point that I started seeing more doctors, and finally, thank God, right before I was about to sign another year lease at the apartment I was at in the city of Chicago, I found out I was being exposed to toxic black mold, and I basically had toxic mold syndrome, and I was having a ton of different issues. I mean, it was bad. It was like, it ranged from headaches to fatigue to fungal infections on my nails, which I never have had, a whole sorts of things. So I got out of there, and I've been recovering over the last 2.5 months. Unfortunately, my immune system is still a little weak. I'm so much better, but I ended up getting scarlet fever a couple of weeks ago. And that's one of those illnesses you go, what is this, like 18th century England, right? I mean, scarlet fever is basically a staph infection, a strep infection, staph strep, that can be in the throat, like strep throat, and it kind of can be on the skin, and that's what I had, and it was spreading pretty bad. And I had a rash, and it all of your lymph nodes get swollen, and the worst part is the fever. I had a fever that was breaking 104. It did not go below 103 even for a whole week, and it was really crazy. I have never had a fever like that in my life, and it just wouldn't break. And I was on antibiotics. I was doing all the natural stuff. I was doing everything. I was using this machine called a Rife machine, which ended up helping a lot with the staph infection. And I had an IV. I ended up in the hospital. They put me on an IV. It was pretty crazy. So the Center for Disease Control has been putting out the schools. So I still work very part-time. I teach violin. And apparently some of my students had scarlet fever, and the parents did not notify me. So that's how I got it. And it's been going around in this area in the Chicago suburbs. So that's where I've been. I am back. And what is funny is, it's like, after you've been incredibly sick, where you're hardly sleeping, you're not eating, you're got a fever, I mean, it's just miserable for weeks. When you're better again, it's a learning lesson, because there's nothing like having 104.2 temperature degree fever and feeling miserable for weeks on end that could put you in a good state, even if things are emotional or hard or challenging or boring or stressful. It's like, I'm happy. Even if I'm broke, even if I don't know, I mean, even if things are chaotic, right now I'm reminded of what having good health can do, and that's ultimately the most important thing. And it reminds me of why I've changed my focus to work with people that are going through or have gone through narcissistic abuse. And it's just a reminder to us all that nobody is worth your health. And people that have these cluster B personality disorders, that are selfish and that are users and takers and abusers and manipulators and ruin your self-esteem or put you down or use you for all of your kindness and goodness and forgiveness that you have, these people get to the core of who we are. They affect us in such it's the core of our emotional state and the entire foundation and structure by which our psyche and our emotional construct is formulated. And in this regard, they can do so much damage to us. And again, like I said, most of you have probably seen this. If you're going through narcissistic abuse, you're going to see this, if you haven't already, that there's such a enormous physical health toll that this type these type of people and this type of abuse can have on you. Nobody is worth that. Nobody is worth your health. Done. Out. Get them out. Out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who it is. Your husband, your mom, your brother. It does not matter. Your wife. That's not to say that we shouldn't appreciate and cherish and stick through the ups and downs we have with people in our life. I am 100% about loyalty. But loyalty is earned. And narcissists are narcissists are narcissists. They will never change. Sociopaths will only get better over time. They'll get better at using you and manipulating you, lying, fooling you, wasting your time. So I say this because if anybody is listening, even just one person, I feel like it's worth letting you know this and reminding you. Because sometimes when we are in the thick of it, I know, I was there. We can't see the forest for the trees. Right? And so we get hung up on this person, this relationship. We become almost paralyzed within it. And we lose ourselves. We lose that focus, and that's why so often our confidence, our self-esteem, our own perception of ourselves, or just our attachment, or that energy that binds us to ourselves in the healthy way. Having an emotional, intellectual, physical attachment or grasp on our energy life source, ours. We lose that with these type of people, especially when we're really close with them. And so it's important to remember, anytime anyone in your life makes you lose yourself in that way, in any type of way that makes you lose your energy life source, because here's the thing. When we first met these people, we lost ourselves and we believed it was love. And the truth is, real love, well, if you were in a relationship with them. And unfortunately, if you have a parent who's a narcissist, you were raised this way. You didn't know any different. Real love never makes us lose our grasp to our own energy life source. It only enhances it. And so if you are ever with somebody, a friend, family, parent, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, especially romantic love, and they make you lose yourself, lose that ability to regulate and understand ourselves, that, my friend, is not love. And there's a big red flag. It's people who genuinely have good intention, that genuinely love us, that are able to mirror back to us in healthy ways, not in these fake masks that the narcissists, sociopaths, borderlines put on. But in healthy ways, they enhance our life. They make us more excited and more capable of having a grasp and an attachment to ourself. They love us, and in the love that we just innately feel, true love, that our subconscious mind innately feels it brings on a greater love for ourselves. But you will see, and when you look back with narcissists, with sociopaths, with borderlines, with the cluster B personality disorders, or any highly manipulative, toxic person, that's not what happened, right? You loved them. Everything was about them. And your confidence or your understanding of yourself or your self-esteem probably took a dive, even very early on. Because maybe it felt good to have that doting and all that love bombing that they do, that's all fake, and we believe it's real because what do we know, right? I mean, they fooled us. They're manipulative. But somewhere in our conscious, deep in our subconscious rather, we knew. We didn't know intellectually. How could we? We're not mind readers, but there was something there in us that knows the difference between this fake projected love and real love. And again, there's only really one way our conscious mind can determine that, because it's so elusive and it's so kind of, existential. And that is whether or not we love ourselves more or we love ourselves less. Sorry, that's my dog in the background sneezing, Gershwin. That is whether or not we have a grasp on our own energy life source more, or if we have it less. All right, everybody. Look forward to making new videos and getting my blog started and eventually doing this radio show. I am talking to someone really awesome that also has a great YouTube page, and maybe we'll announce it soon. Okay. Sorry. That's Gertrude. Hey, Gertrude, want to say hi? Speak? There he is. All right, everyone. Namaste. Have a great day. Bye. Much love.